Flowchart math, grouping. This example looks an awful lot like a GCF, and in fact, we're going to handle it a lot like a GCF. Only problem is all four terms don't have something in common. There's nothing that you can find that divides all four of them. You can't divide them all by a 2, and you can't divide them all by a 3, and you can't divide them all by an n. So we're going to do a method called grouping. For grouping to work, you're going to split the problem into a number of groups, usually groups of 2, but it could be different. But you want them to have the same number, so there's 2 in my first group and 2 in my second group. So we're going to do a GCF on each of those two groups. So I look at the first group, a 3 and 12 have a common factor of 3, and with the n's, we could take n squared out of either of those. So again, you think about reversing the distributive property, 3n squared times n minus 4. Okay, that's the first group. Now we're going to look at the second group, 2n minus 8. If you look at those two, there's a positive 2 in common. So I'm going to put this plus in here, and I'm going to say plus 2 for my GCF on my second group. So 2 times n minus 4 gets me back to 2n minus 8. Now, we see something that looks kind of weird, kind of complicated. We are not finished, but what we have is two terms, two complicated looking terms separated by a plus sign. But what you should notice is each of those two terms have a common factor of n minus 4. So we're actually going to do a GCF for a third time here with that n minus 4. Both of those things have an n minus 4. So we're going to do exactly what we did before on a GCF problem. We're going to take that and we're going to move that out front. And we're going to say n minus 4 times what would get me back to what I had before. Well, it looks more complicated than it actually is. If you think about it, n minus 4 times 3n squared plus 2 is going to do the trick. And that is factored. You can tell it's factored because it's something times something. And that's what we're doing. Factoring means write something as a product. Okay? And we are finished. That is factor by grouping.